Dum dum da dum. Dum 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 da dum. What's up, man? Hey, bienvenido los lost. I'm glad you found your way to the Church of Hood Puns. Welcome. such a such a goofball. I'm such a nerd. This thing's hot. Yeah, whatever. We're gonna get into it. Alright, but seriously here we're gonna have Philoso-Fight episode 4, baby. What's going on? I know you guys wanted more, and well, got a nice little slideshow for you guys with pictures up the level here. And so, without further ado, let's talk about today's topic. And got a little slideshow here. And here we're gonna talk about feminism. That's right. Philoso-Fight episode 4. Attacking feminism. The illusions of false female desires. Let's break down this picture here. We got Athena, the goddess of war and wisdom, but a certain type of war, a righteous war, going to war for a reason, to protect and provide for the ones that you love. Not this animal kind of. And over here we have the Jezebel, the story of Jezebel. If you don't know, she was a biblical queen, and the prophet Elijah just didn't like the pagan influence that she had over the king. I don't remember the king's name. Turns out, Elijah convinced them to throw the queen out of the window. And she was eaten, and as she fell and, obviously died, she was attacked by dogs. But, Jezebel's just a classic, it's where we get this classic character of an evil woman, an evil, seductive woman. Now, that's another topic, whether, is it right to kill somebody over their influence over another person? I don't know about that. Doesn't seem, but it's not what we're talking about today. Alright, so you gotta break down feminism. And I'm going to break it down into several illusions, spells that are being cast over you by the main media. And one is, you see this a lot in entertainment programming. And entertainment really isn't just entertainment. When you watch these movies, watch these music videos, listen to these rappers, listen to the songs by these rock stars, it isn't just entertainment. I mean, it does have a psychological influence, whether you want to believe it or not. Now, does that mean you get to blame the song or the entertainment for your behavior? It is influential, but it doesn't command you either. So let's not get it twisted. There's this pervasive myth that you have to be an alpha male to attract girls. Let's go a little deeper, because that's half true. Of course, females don't want a wimpy dude. They don't want to. They don't want to. So, they don't want a loser, dude. I understand that. Living with your mom and not having a job. Which I do, by the way. So I'm living with my mom and I'm 30. Well, but don't really care what society calls me, because and I'll never lose my ambition. But we're not talking about me today. So, there's a reason why a girl falls in love with a bad boy, a thug, a criminal. It is because these people are complicated. That's the thing that I hate about today's society, is that this guy's a nerd, this guy's a pussy, this guy's this, that, and the third. And putting these people in like these neat little boxes. Humans are much more complicated than that. But there's a reason. There's a reason why people say that, because these kind of males really don't have a filter or a kind of long-term thinking. They don't have the filter or much of a conscience. They just reactive. They just boom. They see something, they react. They see something they want, they go for it. And that is kind of that's pretty cool. And the reason why is that females, by and large, they want safety and security. And the kind of guys that get those are these knuckle dragging kind of like not gonna take no for an answer dudes. So the so-called alpha male or bad boy, they tend to be at the top. Very rarely do the altruistic, compassionate man. Very rarely does this guy, Chapo Guzman did not become one of the top criminals or drug dealers, by being a nice guy. Yeah, I hate to break it to you, but you know, what's this guy's name? Steve Jobs. All these CEOs, Steve Jobs, Bill Gates, they didn't rise to the top by being completely nice or honest. So, and it's not that females are these dark, soulless creatures, and so they're attracted to these evil people. It's just that they want safety and security, and so they'll attach to whoever has that. Now you can have an ethical CEO or people at the top that are ethical and nice and compassionate, leaders that are. I'm not going to say that doesn't exist, but it's not. They don't fall in love with a bad boy. They fall in love with the safety and the security. Which is, you can call it cowardly. You could think of it that way, but I think of it as just immensely intelligent on the female's part. Why wouldn't you, as a female? Now, the desire for women to breed with the best males that are out there, with the most dominant, with the best social status, it's a catalyst for human evolution if you actually think about it. We men have just women wouldn't understand. On average, a man produces 80% more testosterone. Testosterone is the hormone that actually wants you to succeed. It's that fiery part of a human. The average guy produces. Now, let's say an alpha male produces 40% more than the average guy. So that's 120% than the average female. That's a lot of testosterone here. And so this testosterone is divine. It's holy. God put it there for a reason to spur, to sort of get that spark in a man that, hey, you gotta toughen up, kid. You gotta do your best. And then there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a woman wanting to mate and bond with these kind of guys. If they didn't, we men wouldn't rise to any kind of challenge. We wouldn't challenge ourselves. Now, it's not that they like the alpha males, that women are attracted to guys who display some kind of capacity for aggression and domination. And later on, there's a YouTube video by Jordan Peterson, which I'll reference later in the presentation. And, he'll put it much more eloquently and make that case more powerfully than I can. I'll get there. I'm going to get little by little more articulate here. Here's the thing. Let's go over some vocabulary lessons, okay? You all guys know how I feel about government. You guys know how I feel about authority, and I think it's evil. Who is anyone to tell anyone what to do or to command somebody what to do? What kind of cowardly, robotic, just pathetic human being are you just to just do something because someone told you without even thinking about it, without actually kind of analyzing it? And so let's go over authority. What does this word mean? All right, according to dictionary.com, it's the power to determine, adjudicate, or otherwise settle issues or disputes. Okay? Settle disputes. Alright, well, I don't understand why people can't stand up for themselves, but here we go. Jurisdiction. The right to control, command, or determine. But I mean, we're about to cuss here. No one has the right to control, or command, or determine. And this is why it's the alpha male illusion. I mean, let's not kid ourselves. Some guys are better looking, some guys are more intelligent, some guys are more athletic. I'm not going to kid yourselves. But does that mean that you're not going to try? Does that mean you're just going to bow down to these people? Please. What can one knight in shining armor do against 10,000 peasants? Let's be real here. Right. Where does this word come from? Latin. I'm not even going to attempt. I am no kind of historian or a professor in language. It's come from the Latin. I'm going to try my best. Auctoritatem. Right? Which it means invention, advice, opinion, influence, or command. From the Latin, the root word, Latin, auctor, master, leader, author. I understand that the alpha males have authority. They are the authority. You really can really look into words. The way, magic to me is simply an advanced knowledge of language. The way that you say something with authority, command, control people. You don't have any authority to control females or to control so-called beta males or people weaker than you. I mean, But what I think people confuse authority with is guidance. Let's look into guidance. What does this word mean? That's the act or function of leadership or direction. That is crucial. Let's not kid ourselves. Without society needs guidance. It needs leadership. Some people are, have better opinions than others. I mean, let's be real. Some people are influential and some people are, you dismiss and ignore. Come on. But the function, again, look at that. To lead, to direct. It's a lot different to command or control. Yeah, if you study the words, the origins of something, you really see how the alpha male is nonsense. It's a preposterous thing that females fall in love with as alpha males. To have this teenage high school mentality about love and sex it's unacceptable past a certain age. And in my age, past the age of 20. You can't. Unacceptable, in my opinion, past the age of 20 to still think under these illusions. That's a little harsh. Look, I was only. That's a little harsh. But, I mean, we the mass media and negative social programming, or let's just flat out say mind control, the mass media mind control, it's hard. It's incredibly difficult to break from, but people, we need to wake up. Guidance. I think that's what people mean. It's the positive aspect of authority. I think that's what people are trying to say when they use the word authority. Where does that word come from? It comes from a combination of guide, which has origins in French. I don't know. I have no idea. Guide, and which means one who shows the way. Right? You're lost in the woods, or there's a military unit that needs to get to a certain city, a caravan of supplies. How do you get here? A guide. Come on, he shows the way. One who shows the way. It's not that deep here. And from the suffix ants. Comes from the Latin antia. It's a suffix after a word, which the state or condition of. Right, you're in the state of showing the way. You are. That is what you are doing. Yeah, not that deep here, guys. Now here's the other illusion here. Here's the other nonsense that goes on in society. The beta male. Let me be real with you people. There's no such thing as a beta male. Tell me one person that wakes up in the morning and says, you know what, today I want to be the nicest person. I want to let people abuse me and use me any kind of way, and I never want to stick up for myself. I love being a complete worthless loser. No one thinks like that. No one thinks like that. Who in their right mind thinks like that? This goes deeper. The beta male illusion is really the ancient, the immemorial insult of the crab pulling another crab down. And the crab tries to get at the beach, tries to get at the bucket. What is the other? As soon as somebody gets a little bit of success, the beta male illusion is really fueled by jealousy. Is all this is about. If somebody gets a little bit of power, a little bit of success, they start to get a little bit better at something. But what do the other crabs do? To pull you down. So they pull you down by calling, you're a nice guy, you're a beta male. There's no such thing. There's really no such thing as a bad boy either. Nobody, I mean, very few people actually want to command and control people like some sort of, Nazi German era dictator. I mean, most people aren't like that. There's no such thing as a nice guy. Why? Because everybody, blanket statement here, every single person seeks their best interests, their survival and comfort. Flat out. Superman, all these comic book heroes, fairy tales. Fairy tales. Everybody's in it for themselves. But what's wrong with that? What's wrong with that? As long as you're in it for yourself, but you're not bringing other people down, that's ethics. That's true ethics. To self-actualize, to be aligned with your true self, with the God within you. That is righteousness. Just as long as you don't have to pull other people down. Heroes are rare. These alpha males, heroes, what you presume as a hero, they're rare. Maybe even non-existent a hero nowadays. I mean, most people, believe it or not, are under this programming that obedience is good and authority is good. And I'm going to bash it. Because I might sound like a broken record. But I need to hammer this in, people. Of course I want, a bazillion followers on YouTube and make a lot of money and a pretty girlfriend, but I also do this to put the truth out there. Let's continue. We're going to go over some more vocabulary. The difference between an obsequious man and a compassionate man. Women are attracted to and love, believe it or not, a nice guy. What do I mean by a compassionate man? They like that in a man when they treat another man with respect and kindness. When the big guy treats the small guy, with respect, with dignity. You don't have to be an asshole. You don't have to be a monster. Now, when women say, I hate nice guys, or I'm not attracted to nice guys, let's go a little deeper. What they're really, I think the word what they're trying to do is an obsequious, a sycophant. Or, in layman's terms, or in street terms, an ass kisser. Being compassionate and being an ass kisser, two different fucking things. Excuse me, two different freaking things. I mean, nothing will dry up the panties of a girl. Nothing will dry a girl's panties up more than an ass kisser. It is revolting and disgusting to women. To anyone, to be quite honest with you. I'm disgusted by that. You see, if someone asks you who's the best rapper, and you sycophantly say, or in an obsequious ass-kissing tone, oh my god, I think Tupac's the best rapper, man. If it wasn't for Tupac, I don't know where I'd be. If it wasn't for Kendrick Lamar, oh my god, he's like an urban prophet, Kendrick Lamar. He's like the third coming of Jesus Christ. You're disgusted by that. Women love a guy who has a 24/7, they just constant attitude that I'm the best rapper. Me. You're here to protect and provide a woman. How could you possibly do that if you're out there kissing other people's asses? How could you protect and provide for yourself, for anyone for that matter? Women like that mindset. Obviously, Kendrick Lamar is a better rapper than me, so let's be real. But what I'm talking about here is the mentality. Again, more vocabulary lessons. And we already went over what obsequious means and basically an ass kisser, but let's go over the proper one. I mean, characterized by or showing servile complaints or deference, fawning. Now, fawning kind of means like when a dog gives you those puppy dog eyes, like, please can I have another treat, or when a cat rubs your ankle, and please can you show me some affection. That's nobody likes that. Now, where does this word come from? It's this comes from Latin and obsequi. Right, sequi. The Latin root word sequi means to follow. Means after. So, to follow after. A follower. Pretty easy here. Again, now, compassion, what does this mean? A feeling of deep sympathy and sorrow for another who is stricken by misfortune, accompanied by a strong desire to alleviate the suffering. And that comes from, the Latin compassionem. I hope I got that right. And it's also a coming together of two words, or a prefix. In the Latin prefix cum, which means together, like combine. I can't think of any others. But patai, I don't know, means to suffer. So, to suffer together. I feel your pain, brother. I feel your pain, sister. Let me help. That's just being a basic human being here. Let's go over this Disney movie nonsense. This Elsa, this Brave, this complete Joan of Arc. Let's just completely rip apart this Wonder Woman ridiculousness here. Please, women are not the same as men. Women are not. Just open up a history textbook here, people. Women don't fight wars over men, right? Be real. I mean, look. Of course, you're gonna say things like, Margaret. What about Margaret Thatcher? What about Harriet Tubman? What about? This is not a blanket statement. I understand that human beings are complex creatures, and they're not. It's a spectrum, but people generally, they don't display heroic, brave, or those classic masculine. Please, women don't display those kind of aggressive, domineering, or protective, or provisional behaviors. Please, I mean, women and men are equal under human dignity, under law. We all understand that. But there's no denying that they're different in function and design. I don't care what these third wave feminism, I don't care what any feminism says that you can, I don't need a man, I don't need to breed, I don't need to have kids, I could be single. Well, fine. But don't tell other women to do that. Women are free to do whatever they want. And just don't deny the truth of things. I mean, yeah, you can be a guy, you can think like a man, you can work construction, you can fight in the UFC, I really don't care. You could be a Green Beret Ranger, or an Army Ranger, or a Navy SEALs special operative. Cool, go ahead, right? But let's have some common sense here, people. Women breed and feed, and men hunt and grunt. I'm not going to go over half an hour or even any more seconds explaining that. People, read a biology textbook. It's science. Please, you Wonder Woman. Good nonsense. Let's go on. Here's one that I take. I can see why feminism, I'm not going to sit here and say that men are these are these brave, virtuous knights in shining armor, these white knights and these Boy Scouts. I mean, there is evil in us all. And, I don't understand that. Like, why? If a woman does something to you, if she instigates or initiates an act of violence or an act of immorality to you, you have every right to go off on that female. But if a female is cheating on her husband and you're not her husband, mind your business. I don't understand why we have to call them sluts, thoughts, bitches, whores. Dude, mind your business. What happened to that? We're going to explain this ridiculousness here. Women are not sluts, and they're not virgins. Let's grow up, people. Again, this teenage mentality about things. Women are obviously not simple creatures. And that's one of the many strong, powerful points that feminism has. Is that, women have orgasms. It's not evil. I don't care what the Catholic Church says. There's absolutely nothing wrong. All this slut shaming. You're shaming a female for having a high sexual appetite. It's ridiculous. Now, just like autism, or just like introversion and extroversion, right? Some people are really shy and timid. Some people are just, the life of the party. But it's a spectrum. Just like the shades of gray here. Right? See these shades of gray? You point to one point where it's black. Where does the black start? Where does the gray or the white begin? This background in this slide tells it beautiful. Males were pretty simple. We're just like big boobs. Females are complicated. Not that complicated, but their sexual appetite is complicated. Their sexual desires are very complicated. Yeah, I will admit that some of them hear this black ring of death. Yes, some women are. Best be left alone. Don't feed the wildlife. But it's a fluid spectrum. Some days are nice, some days they aren't. What I feel that I'm not going to police women. If this world's going to be a better place, women should police women. Not my job, not my problem. You want to live like a wild animal? That's your problem. Honestly. And so it becomes a problem when women act on their strong, powerful sexual appetites in an immoral, a deceptive, sort of irresponsible way. When a guy first gets to know a girl, and hey, how many guys have you been with? She's obviously BSing, talking about, I've only been with 2 or 3 guys. Please. With the adulterous wife talking about, I just had to stay over. I'm working a little overtime, baby, so we can save up for that nice romantic vacation to Paris. No, you're in the boss's office right now, under the table, and you dropped your pen. Right, you fill in the blanks. You dropped your pen in the boss's office. Please. That's when it becomes a problem. You're deceptive, immoral about it. Irresponsible about it. Hence why we have, hence why nobody falls in love with strippers or prostitutes or porn stars or single moms or adulterous wives, right? You can understand why men aren't lining up to fall in love with these kind of women. Should we be brutal? Again, we should show compassion. I believe in compassion. I feel the pain of others. But again, you can't let your compassion be abused. People's problems are their problems. If people want freedom, they have to accept responsibility. That's how this thing works. What is feminism? What is it nowadays? First and foremost, it's really about this is what feminism is about. It's about trying to justify feminism, their obsession, their affair with government, big daddy government. Big Daddy Chad government, Big Daddy Tyrone government. Women don't need men. Women need men like a fish needs a bicycle. Shut the y'all are married. These feminism, the modern woman is married to the government. No fault divorce. Don't tell me that. It's the justice system and the court system's fair. Most undoubtedly, they're biased towards the women. 80%, 50%. Let's hit you with math. 50% of divorces, of marriages end in divorce. 80% of them are initiated by women. Coupled with the fact that there's a no-fault divorce, that you don't have to show any wrongdoing. I get tired of someone and bye. And the majority of the times they get to keep the kids, the custody. And you're gonna walk away poor. These things happen. And you don't have the utmost respect for, not the utmost, but I have respect for guys like Ben Shapiro. The traditional conservative guys, guys like Ben Shapiro, with promoting conservative family values. Who doesn't want a family? Who doesn't want a white picket fence and a pretty wife in a house and a mansion in Beverly Hills? Who doesn't want that? But let's be real. These things happen. That's what feminism is about. It's about women justifying their marriage and their attraction to the government. And why are they so in love, madly in love with the government? With these criminals, these thugs, these murderers called the U.S. military, and these complete cowardly dogs called the law enforcement. Why? Why do girls like a guy in a uniform? Because of the silly idea that that your safety should be guaranteed. Grow up. Nobody cares that you're a female. Nobody cares that you're a male. Stand up for yourself or don't. No patience for that. That's not misogyny. Calling you out. Constructive criticism, I don't care what these females say, is not misogyny. Absolutely not. Am I going to go out of my way and police females and preach to females all day? No, that's not my problem. So I put these things out on YouTube, man. So you say you never heard or no one ever told me. I believe in freedom. Complete, total, chaotic freedom. Do what you feel and reap the consequences is the whole of the law. I could care less. Just don't. But it becomes my problem because the government has an influence for me. Now I have to pay taxes to pay for the rent and food and groceries for some irresponsible male or female. These pump and dump loser thugs want to be alpha males, not thinking with their dick and having sex with these just teenage romantic. Oh my god, I love him. These silly little girls falling in love with these irresponsible thugs. And now we have to pay. The working people have to pay for that. Everybody wants safety. We all want to be safe and secure, but the world doesn't owe you anything. Secondly, what is it about? Feminism is not this wholesome, moral, ethical movement. What are some of the first things that come to mind? It's really, modern feminism is about appealing to the worst aspects of females. The hedonistic party and play instinct. Oh, I want to have fun. I want to sleep around with a bunch of dudes. I want to go out clubbing with my girls. No, I don't want to settle down. I'm in my early 20s. What are you talking about? And now you're 36, 37, and now you want to settle down, and your first kid's half retarded with autism. Should have thought about that, lady. And this ruthless hypergamy. That's what feminism is about. Well, there They were ruthless with us, calling us fat and ugly, and so now two wrongs make a right. I guess. Just look on Tinder, dude. Oh, this guy, he lives with his mom. Oh, God, he doesn't have a stable job. Oh my God, he doesn't drive a Maserati. This guy doesn't have a six-pack. He's not my favorite. Oh my God, you're 5'11". I mean, he could be like just a well-looking dude, a handsome dude, six-pack, and he's making 70,000. He's not making 80,000. I understand he's 5'11". I understand that he's like a 8 on the sexiness scale, right? And he has a little 3-bedroom condo, but it's not a 6-bedroom mansion. Please, I need 6 feet or taller. This narcissism is what modern day feminism is about. This just addiction to be validated on Facebook. How many likes did I get? These 3 things, what they lead to is, what the hedonistic party and play, the have fun, where you ride the cock carousel, that leads to immaturity. Hey, you want to party your life away? Take it from me. I partied my 20s away. Now I'm 30, and it is not fun. It is not fun to be writing that on a resume. But hey, you do you, girl. Don't listen to advice. And hypergamy, this constant, brutal, ruthless desire to date only the best men. I mean, we talked about it. It's really just cowardly. You could look at it as intelligent, but it's cowardice. It doesn't. I mean, what makes you as a human so special? What's stopping? You're not that special. Nobody's is guaranteed safety. And this constant addiction to, social media, it leads to hubris, to this counter. It's good to have self-esteem and pride, but you get it out of control and you start thinking you're better than everyone. Here's some questions to ask. Why is it that feminism is associated with these things? Why? Why is it associated with a hedonistic lifestyle? Only wanting to date the top 5% of men. Be realistic, people. And just this narcissism. What is the first thing that you associate with feminism? The very first thing. It's abortion. Why is that? Why is it something to be proud of? Oh, oops, I had irresponsible sex. Now I gotta get rid of the kid that just is inconveniencing me. Look, I understand there's rape. I understand that there's complications, or that this kid might not be the healthiest kid, but that's rare. And I have the utmost compassion and sympathy for that. Who am I to tell a woman what to do with her body? But it's not just your body. You have two. I mean, abortion is murdering a child. Murdering life. Now, when you step on a lizard, that is nothing to be proud of, people. I've done a whole abortion video. My thoughts on that. Look, we're not talking about abortion. Well, abortion, we are going to talk about abortion. It has to do with feminism. I mean, again, there are dire circumstances where it is justifiable. But to be real, a lot of it is sexual irresponsibility. And that's what makes abortion worse. You're just going to destroy life because you couldn't think a little bit. Why is it that feminism doesn't a wholesome, traditional female values like being a rearing child, nurturing the children and the young, being like this healer, this nurturer, actually being the glue, the sort of adhesiveness to society that what females traditionally used to do. They prevented wars, like, hey, guys, you don't have to fight over us. This sort of glue that kept mankind together. Why is it that? Why isn't? I'd love to hear why that's not being promoted. What can we do about this? We need to talk to each other. This idea that we're just gonna not talk to females, they're 50% of the other half of the population. And this idea that females are just gonna shut us down, just gonna call the cops because we said, oh, I may call her fat. What? Look, if arguments get heated, so what? A few cuss words, a few insults, a few death threats, whether they be empty or valid. I mean, dude, toughen up. You need free speech, or it'll all come crumbling down. Without free speech, the freedom to argue, the freedom to criticize people, and talk to each other, we will have World War III. Right? If females can call us out on our stuff, on our stuff, that's fine. I understand that we're overly aggressive. We always think everything's a war. We're just brutal, violent creatures. We all understand. But we can't call you out in here. Every time we call a female out on their negative aspects, we're faggots or we're gay. Oh, you're a misogynist. How is that a fair fight, people? Look, the way to make this better is that we need to educate our young people. We need to educate young men to truly. We need to bring psychology and philosophy in required electives in middle school and high school. It is unacceptable in 2017 that we have Common Core, but we can't teach kids how to think. Or why can't we teach psychology or philosophy? We're not talking about alchemy here or pseudosciences. We're not teaching kids tarot cards. This is really helpful stuff. I mean, that's a first step in the right direction. Teaching young men the psychology of females to really truly understand them on a deep level. And by the time he's in his early 20s, he isn't just this stumbling idiot not knowing how to talk to girls. And it can also help to tell young women to all that romantic, over sentimental bullshit they see in movies and romantic comedies. That's entertainment, people. That is not how things really work. That also be helpful. And also, we need to let young women know that men are not evil monsters. We're not these monsters. Granted, in certain chapters in history, yes, we were. But dude, we're trying our best, right? And despite what the mainstream media says, we are not these cold, soulless creatures that are just made of stone and just have no emotion. And it'd be nice to also, again, we're seeing a pattern. It'd be nice to coach young women. Philosophy and psychology, to me, really needs to be required subjects in middle school and high school. And teach them the true psychology of men. Mentor young women to get rid of this princess programming that no man is good enough for you. You're a prince. Like, all right, live like that. Oh wait, let's check your bloodlines. Are you really related to the second Archduke of Wellington? No, you're not. You're not really a princess. Please, people. You're noticing a pattern here? Let's teach the young. Let's stop lying to our children. Let's stop lying to our teenagers. You're getting it here? It'd be nice to help to educate humans on what love really is. It's the respect for yourself and the respect for others. It's the way I would, in my opinion, how to define it. Again, not these ridiculous, romantic, prince, Disney-like attitudes about it. And love has its infinite forms. Be open to it. Be open to, if you're a sexually inexperienced man, be open to being a friend zone. Be glad that you're in the friend zone, that these girls are actually coaching you and teaching you a little bit. Be open to love. It has in its infinite forms. That probably helped humans here. And the most important thing, if you want to learn about love and how to be a human, is you have to reject self-centered thinking. Get rid of solipsism. Solipsism is this philosophical idea that you are God. Bullshit. You are not God. The world does not revolve around you. You do not create your own universe. Please. If you want to learn about something, what does common sense tell you? Ask the experts. Please, people, some common sense. That's kind of at our end here. Where did I get? These are some of my references. This is some of I went on dictionary.com and basically looked these words up: obsequious, authority, guidance. Even looked up guide and ants. And if you scroll at the bottom of those pages, you'll see the word origins. I believe it's nice to have references so you guys know that I'm not completely going, improvising or making things up. And I am improvising, but I also have some guidance. And this really isn't my work. This is really, somebody that if I consider a teacher, a prophet, a guru, it's Mark Passio. Man, this guy, in the spirituality scene, the philosophy scene, he is a master. If you're into this stuff and you don't know who Mark Passio is, that is the wrong answer. You gotta look into this guy's work. And it's basically me just regurgitating this guy's work. Right? And two amazing videos is the Unholy Feminism series. I know it's 4 hours here, but you're probably spending 4 hours on a video game or on a Netflix series. Why don't just give Mark Passio a try here? And again, another one is Jordan Peterson. I think that guy's also absolutely brilliant. And there's the video on chimpanzees and dominance hierarchies. He really brilliantly explains somehow, in a deep level, why a female falls in love with a bad boy. Why is it that they love the alpha male? Really deep stuff. And the alpha male is complicated, because if you climb the Jacob's ladder and ascend to the highest levels of society brutally and ruthlessly, you're going to experience what I like to call the Julius Caesar effect. You're going to get stabbed in the back. There's an ancient Viking saying that success breeds strife amongst brothers. That the wolf hides and feeds in the forest. If you want to rise to the top, you also have to be a mixture of good, of compassionate, and dominating. You can't be too dominating, can't be too compassionate if you want to rise, at the higher echelons of society. It's not, power and influence isn't as easy or simple as people like to think it is. Truly, these two videos are truly inspiring. Yep. You should just bring out some good quality content. I'm trying to get some good quality stuff out there. And we're pretty much a wrap. Hello. And pretty much a wrap. I'm no prophet or guru. It's just some of my thoughts on the modern problems with sex and dating. In my opinion, some of my critiques on love and relationships, on love and sex. So let me know what you guys YouTube think, and have a wonderful Sunday evening. Take care.